But let's go over to the rivals in the East there. Not that they've met up really in any recent 2010. Yeah, the Celtics. I'm gonna have to roast Kyle on this one.
Yep, good. Do it.
You ready? Ready, Kyle?
Do it to him.
How's that chemistry, buddy?
Yikes.
Is it really coming together? Is this one more good year?
Yikes.
The chemistry really building and they're killing it? Because if you go back and you're like, oh, we don't need to get a guy like James Harden because the chemistry is great. Are you kidding me?
What the hell would James Harden add to this?
Okay. Oh, a third scoring option. A third scoring option. Or even this is why they need to make a move for a guy like Bradley Beal or James Harden. Well, clearly
Bradley
not
Beal
James Harden
I like.
now.
Bradley Beal I like. He's not a dominant ball handler like James Harden is. He's not going to blow up any sort of chemistry. He's not going to come in immediately start changing shit. Bradley Beal would come in and be like, okay, I can be the third option. I can be what James Harden's going to be like, it's my team now.
Hey, guys.
Everybody back up.
Guys, they're going to be this. If anything, they're going to be the second option because either way, one of those trades is going to involve Jaylen Brown. So there goes your.
And that's the thing. I don't even want.
So they're not going to be third options. They're going to be first or second. And be in the same spots where we were before.
Would you give up Jaylen Brown?
No.
Exactly. Neither would I.
Hell no.
We're all on the same page in those trades.
Their depth is terrible.
Our bench, actually.
Tristan Thompson does not work on this team. I thought was going to be a good ad. Terrible.
Yeah, I was very disappointed by both of those.
He makes me miss Brad Wanamaker.
Well, hold on.
You know how bad you got to be to do that?
Did you see what the Wizards game? It was such a hustle thing. I remember one play that was so egregious to me that I was just like, what the hell are you guys doing? So there was 4 of them running back. Mind you, they're jogging back after their 4th straight turnover. They're jogging back, and it's, I think it's Hachimura who's running down the middle of the paint. There are 4 guys who are just staring at the ball at the 3-point line. 4 guys. There's one person guarding the guy on the wing, and then Hachimura just jogs down to the center lane. Easy pass, easy bucket. They go back. And this is immediately after their 4th turnover. I don't think the Celtics are a bad team. I don't know what the hell's going through their head, but they're not hustling. They're not trying.
Brad Stevens is on the hot seat.
I think Danny Ainge is on the hot seat.
No, not Danny Ainge. Brad Stevens.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, because over the years, Danny Ainge has given him talent. Like the year where they had Marcus Morris and whatnot coming off the bench, Danny Ainge gave him a ton of talent, and Brad still couldn't make that work.
No,
you're being
to say
quoted as one of the better coaches in the league. You need to be able to these guys have tuned you out, Brad. I don't know what is happening.
I agree. I think they are tuning him out because after that play that I was just talking about, Brad calls a timeout, they come back out, and they still look like shit. So it's like I don't necessarily think it's a coaching thing. I really do think it's Danny Ainge at this point because it's like, although I want to see what he's going to do because the last time Danny Ainge was on the hot seat, in my opinion, is when he went out and got Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, all that. Like he basically traded House to get House.
So my one problem with Danny Ainge is, so he did with the Kevin Garnett, once on the tail end of that trade, they traded Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, get all these picks, and we got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. What annoyed me was these last few years is when you have all these picks, it's like none of them are really high picks, but it's like, oh, you have all these assets. What are you going to do? What are you going to trade? You're going to trade up? You're going to trade for someone? And they just kept drafting people where it's like, no, you have the young pieces, you have the young core, and I'm not saying get rid of all the picks, but get rid of a majority of them. Go get real veteran players that know how to play basketball at the professional level now. Go get those Bradley Beals instead. Now you're just drafting all these young rookies that maybe they'll turn into something.
To counter that argument too, I think there's enough talent on the Celtics for us to be a lot better than 13-13 right now.
I agree with that.
So it's not that he didn't collect enough talent. Don't forget Jaylen Brown's still young, Jason Tatum's young.
There's more than 2 pieces though.
I agree. But I think Kemba's injury, there's something we're not seeing because he needs to be. You can only use the injury card so long. He needs to be held accountable.
Actually, that's why I was willing to move on from Kemba.
Wasn't it?
He needs to be held accountable.
To get a positive out of this, wasn't last game his most efficient game of the season? Okay,
so
there's that. Also, Tatum only had 4 points.
Yeah. I mean, Tatum had a bad game. I really think it's a hustle thing with this team. We are a talented team. We are talented enough to be a top 3 seed in the East.
Should we start getting on Tatum's case more for this team being bad?
So my one thing, actually, I was talking to you about this the other.
Side note, our bench scoring is second worst in the league. So maybe not yet.
That's been a problem, though.
I know
for years now.
But maybe not yet.
So
what I'm saying
I was talking to you about this, actually. Tatum is clearly a talented and will probably be an MVP one day.
Right.
My biggest gripe with Tatum is he's like, I love Kobe Bryant, and no problem with that. But my thing is like, okay, you love Kobe Bryant. Kobe was a killer.
Yo, yeah.
Yep.
Tatum, I know he puts up like some fat stats sometimes and he plays really well, but like, I just don't see that killer in him. Like, I don't see him getting a team wrapped up in like, let's do this on and off the court. I don't see that being Tatum, where it's like, okay, if you want to be one of these top guys, if you want to go down as a Celtic, you need to be a killer on and off the court. And I feel like he just kind of shows up and he's like, don't get me wrong, he works hard, this and that, but he just kind of like, playing basketball, I'm really good at it.
Funny you say that is because if Kobe was playing that game against the Wizards, we probably would have been able to hear him screaming at his team from our TVs.
And
like,
I'm not trying to say Jason Tatum needs to be the next Kobe Bryant. Doing wrong with that.
No,
be great.
But somebody's got to step up. I agree.
Where,
somebody's got to step up and just be like, "What the hell are we doing?"
What?
Like I said,
what is we doing?
That's not a talent thing. When you're letting people get easy drives to the basket off your fourth turnover, that's not a talent thing. No, that's an effort thing.
You want to know who the Celtics have reminded me of a lot these past years? Because everyone's like, "Oh, they're contenders. They could really win it this year." They remind me a lot of the Rockets.
Yeah.
Always contenders in the West where it's like, oh, they have the talent. Well, not so much this year, but like recent years with Harden and Westbrook and Chris Paul. But either way, so it's just like, oh, they're contenders. They make Western Conference Finals, but it's like, okay, this is it. You had a good run. Go home. Celtics, the closest they made it, which was the most impressive year, when they brought LeBron James to a Game 7. That was an unbelievable year, and I think since then, they have not reached that potential.
No, I think, also they were deeper that year, too.
The bench is a big problem. And I know Danny Ainge, if we keep going down this track, I know Danny Ainge is going to have to pull the trigger because I, honest to God, think if we come out of this and we're like a 6 seed, a 7 seed, where he's gone. I
don't think Danny Ainge is gone. I think it's then Brad's gone. I don't think Danny Ainge is gone.
The only reason I say Brad, I really think Brad, I got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Dude, this happens so much though.
I just really don't think it's Brad.
Well, if your team's tuning out the coach,
I don't know who they're tuning out. I just think
coach because like
what are you talking about?
Dude, you would never see this if Doc was here. Doc would command
he'd be throwing
respect.
Hands. He'd be throwing
Doc
hands.
demands respect, which is why the Sixers look better. Which is why they look better. But they had the same team. They look better.
Oh, no, I agree. I think
Embiid
Doc's getting coach of the year.
Almost every game.
Yeah.
And also, shout out to Ben Simmons, got 42 points last night or the night before.
Did he shoot a 3? Off of 20 layups? Good for him.
I was going to say, did he shoot a 3? Because I don't want to hear it if he didn't.
He's still 42. Respect the numbers.
No.
Doug, he's averaging 12. I'll give him 1 game.
I'm not trying to say either way. I'm not trying to talk about Ben Simmons. I don't want to talk about Ben Simmons. I shouldn't have brought him up. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Either way, I do think it's a coaching problem. I really think it is. That's why they brought in Evan Turner to create a bridge between this team and
we brought him back now?
Coaching. Evan Turner's been an assistant coach for
really.
Yeah, hi.
Is everything okay over there?
I did not know that.
2021.
I saw a tweet, and there's no legit source behind this. This is just someone saying it. They're like, "Yeah, can we bring Kevin Garnett on as an assistant coach?"
Where
I did see that actually.
Where is Kevin?
Kevin's
hell, even Perk.
No.
I'd rather have just so Perk can yell at somebody.
I would like him.
I don't want Perk teaching anyone anything. I just want him yelling at people.
No, that's why I want Kevin. Give me Kevin. You know what? If Brad's gone, bring in Kevin.
You know what? I like that. I like you're going to listen to Kevin Garnett. If Kevin Garnett tells you to run or jump, you say how high.
He's got the most milked ring, though. I will say that 08 team.
That whole team milks that ring.
Don't care.
I mean, they won a chip, but it's just the Mavs had a better win, and they're not even milking it as much.
Nah, I don't even know what Dirk is doing right now.
Well, actually, okay. So, listen. What do they go get if the Celtics make a trade? Who do they go get? Do they get Vucevic?
I would love to have Vucevic or Drummond, or would be my top 1 and 2.
Drummond, I think, is going to Raptors.
What I don't get about what the Drummond thing is, it'd be the same as almost the same as Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson does not play outside.
Yeah, but he basically doubles the possessions you get from Tristan Thompson with the guy's averaging 15 rebounds a game. You're gonna get more possessions with Andre Drummond. I think he's a bigger body, probably a little better defender than Tristan Thompson. Vucevic would be my number 1 though. Dude's an all-star. I've liked him for years. I think he's probably one of the most undervalued players in the league. I like that the Magic gave him the contract and basically told Mo Bamba to screw because and Mo Bamba hasn't done anything.
When a song's more famous than you as a player, that's a problem.
I
Yeah.
mean, that song's a banger, though.
It is. Yeah, it smacks. But Vucevic, yeah, he's probably my number one if we could. But then again, what do you give up for him? They don't want anybody on our bench. We'd have to give up probably 2 first-round picks, which is I'm fine with.
I'm so cool with giving up picks, and I wish they had done
Who's
it
the player
earlier.
that's involved, though? I have no idea.
Kemba. I'm sorry. That injury's a big problem,
No,
and
they have
nobody
Cole
wants
Anthony,
to talk
though.
about it. And yeah, he had his most efficient.
They have Cole and Markelle
That seems
Fultz.
like, I know Kemba's damaged goods, but that still seems like a lot for just Vucevic.
Yeah,
Okay, well, we
they
don't
wouldn't take it
give up.
anyways.
You wouldn't give up 2 first-round picks in Kemba. But what I'm saying is, like, Kemba has to be involved in this trade because
money-wise.
hits his knee. Nobody wants to admit it, but he's never going to be the same. He'll have glimpses of greatness where he puts up 30-something points, and it's like, oh, it's cardiac Kemba. Like, no, that's over. He's old now, and I love the guy. He's a great leader. I think he's one of the most impressive leaders we've seen. I think that's great and all. But when it comes down to it, this game, yeah, this is your job. You need to be able to play like night in and night out. Not, here's a week, oh, I need to rest my knee. Because come playoffs, you can't sit out a week. We need you there. That is my thing, and I don't hate Kemba, but you need guys that can show up.
Bro, people rest every other game half the time. Yeah, LeBron plays every other game. Kawhi Leonard plays every other game.
Yeah, but you know what? LeBron's
They are
team,
different
They're
levels.
consistent, though.
But
They're
LeBron's
consistent.
team is
Are they
ahead
500?
by like 10.
Are they
Are
500?
they a 500 team?
Are they only 2 games ahead of the Bulls?
That's so sad.
I don't think so.
What are you
We
gonna
get-
edit in between those?
Mo Bamba? But, yeah, so Celtics got to make a move, do something.
God.
I don't know.
Brutal.
Move on from Kemba, I think. As much as I hate to say because I do love Kemba, he ain't the same.